Proto-Indo-European religion is not directly attested, but reconstruction has been attempted based on the existence of similarities among the deities, religious practices and mythologies of the Indo-European peoples. The hypothesized reconstructions below are based on linguistic evidence using the comparative method. Archaeological evidence is difficult to match to any specific culture in the period of early Indo-European culture in the Chalcolithic. Other approaches to Indo-European mythology are possible, most notably the trifunctional hypothesis of Georges Dumézil. Pantheon. Linguists are able to reconstruct the names of some deities in the Proto-Indo-European language from many types of sources. Some of the proposed deity names are more readily accepted among scholars than others. The term for a god was **dios, reflected in Hittite, Seus, Latin, deus, Sanskrit deva, Avestan, diva, Welsh duw, Irish dia, Lithuanian, divus, Latvian, diefs. *dias ph2 ter as the god of the day-lit sky and the chief god of the Indo-European pantheon. The name survives in Greek Zeus with evocative forms du pater, Latin Jupiter, Sanskrit Dias Pitter, and Illyrian dei Patris. *PLTH2WIH2 is reconstructed as Plenty, a goddess of wide flat lands and the rivers that meander across them. Forms include Hittite Lelwani, a goddess of the underworld, the Pura, and Sanskrit Prithva. Perkwunos, known as the striker, is reconstructed from Sanskrit Parjanya, Prussian Perkunts, Lithuanian Perkūnas, Latvian Perkons, Slavic Perin, and Norse Fjorgyn. Fjorgyn was replaced by Thor among the Germanic-speaking peoples. The Celtic Hummer god Sucellus is of the same character, but with an unrelated name. *H2Us is believed to have been the goddess of dawn, continued in Greek mythology as Eos, in Rome as Aurora, in Vedic as Ushas, in Lithuanian mythology as Osra, dawn, or Ostaras, the god of the northeast wind, Latvian Auseklis, the morning star, Ozara, and Osrina, goddesses of dawn or of the planet Venus. Gallic Esus, a god of hearths, Slavic Iaro, a god of summer. The form Arapushas appears in Albanian folklore, but as a name of the moon. See also the names for the sun which follow. An extension of the name may have been *H2 Eustro, but see also the form *as tr, with intrusive t, between s and r, in northern dialects. Anatolian dialects. Estan, Istanis, Istara, Greek, Hestia, goddess of the hearth, Latin Vesta, goddess of the hearth, in Armenian as Asfak, a star goddess, possibly also in Germanic mythology as Ostra or Ostara, and Baltic, Orstaja. Prior to, is reconstructed as beloved, friend, the love goddess. Other forms may include Old Norse Freya and Frigg, Slavic Priya, and Hittite Puru. *D2 New, river goddess is reconstructed from Sanskrit Danu, Irish Danu, Welsh Don, and a mask. Form Ossetic Don Betis. The name has been connected with the Dan rivers which run into the Black Sea and other river names in Celtic areas. Welnos is reconstructed as a god of cattle from Slavic Vels, and Lithuanian Velnias, protector of flocks, Velns in Latvian, as well as Old Norse Ullr, and Old English Waldor, and even the Elysian fields in Greek myth and ritual. There may be a god of cattle in the northern lands, but the argument is very thin. These names were also once thought to be connected to Sanskrit Varuna and Greek Auranos, for example by Max Muller. But this is now rejected on linguistic grounds. Divine twins. There are several sets, which may or may not be related. Analysis of different Indo-European tales indicate the Proto-Indo-Europeans believed there were two progenitors of mankind. Manu and Yemo, his twin brother. Cognates of this set of twins appear as the first mortals, or the first gods to die, sometimes becoming the ancestors of everyone and/or king of the dead. The sun and moon, as discussed below. Horse twins usually have a name that means horse *equa, but the names are not always cognate, because there is no lexical set. They are always male and usually have a horse form, or sometimes, one is a horse and the other is a boy. They are brothers of the sun maiden or dawn goddess, sons of the sky god, continued in Sanskrit Ashvins and Lithuanian Asvianiri, identical to Latvian Divideli. Other horse twins are Greek, Dioscouroi, borrowed into Latin as Castor and Pollux, Irish, the twins of Macha, Old English, Hengist and Horsa, and possibly Old Norse Sleipnir, the eight-legged horse born of Loki, Slavic Lel and Palel, possibly Christianized in Albanian as Sts, Flora and Lori. The horse twins may be based on the morning and evening star, and they often have stories about them in which they accompany the sun goddess. Because of the close orbit of the planet Venus to the sun, a water or sea god is reconstructed as *H2EPOM Nepit, grandson, nephew of waters from Avestan and Vedic Apam Napit, and as *Neptunos from Celtic Necton, Etruscan Netuns, and Latin Neptune. This god may be related to the Germanic water spirit, the Nyx. Similarly, most major Lithuanian rivers begin in Ni. Poseidon fulfills the same role in Greek mythology, but although the etymology of his name is highly arguable, it is certainly not cognate to Apam Napit. The sun and moon are often seen as the twin children of various deities, but in fact the sun and moon were deified several times and are often found in competing forms within the same language. The usual scheme is that one of these celestial deities is male and the other female, though the exact gender of the sun or moon tends to vary among subsequent Indo-European mythologies. Here are two of the most common pi forms. *Sa2ul with a genitive form *sh2ns, sun, appears as Sanskrit Surya, Avestan Hvara, Greek Helios, Latin Sol, Germanic *Solo, Slavic Solanta, Lithuanian Sol, Latvian Sol, Albanian Diel. The original Indo-European solar deity appears to have been female, a characteristic not only supported by the higher number of sun goddesses in subsequent derivations, but also by vestiges in mythologies with male solar deities. *Ma1 not moon, gives Avestan, Ma, Greek Selene, although they also use a form many, Latin, Luna, later Diana, on Mani. Old English Mona, Slavic Myasiats, Lithuanian, *Mino, or Menua, Latvian Menis, Roman Minerva. In Albanian, Hain is the name of Monday, but this is not related. The original Indo-European lunar deity appears to have been masculine, with feminine lunar deities like Selene, Minerva and Luna being a development exclusive to the Eastern Mediterranean. Even in these traditions, remnants of male lunar deities, like Menelaus, remain. *Peh2 is reconstructed as a pastoral god, based on the Greek god Pan, the Roman god Faunus and the Fauns, and Vedic Pashupati, and Pushan. See also Pax. There may have been a set of nature spirits or gods akin to the Greek satyrs, the Celtic gods Cernunnos and the Duzii, Slavic Veals and the Lezi, the Germanic woodwoes, elves and dwarfs. There may also have been a female cognate akin to the Greco-Roman nymphs, Slavic Vilis, the Hulda of Germanic folklore, and the Hindu Apsaris. It is also likely that they had three fate goddesses, see the Norns in Norse mythology, Moirai in Greek mythology, Sugenis of Slavic folklore, Ursitor in folklore of Romania and Dives Valditojos in Lithuanian mythology. Celtic religion is also rife with triple goddesses, such as the Gaulish Matroness and the Morrigan of Ireland, and sometimes triplicate gods as well, but they are not always associated with fate. See also triple deities. A fuller treatment of the subject of the Indo-European pantheon would not merely list the cognate names but describe additional correspondences in the family relationships, festival dates, associated myths and special powers. Pandemonium. Pandemonium is Jan Pervel's word for the mutual demonization that occurred when the younger Avestar demonized the Devas, and the post-Rigvedic texts demonized the Asuras. Neither demonization occurs in the oldest texts. In the Rig Veda, there is not yet any hard and fast distinction between Asuras and Devas, and even in the later Vedas, the two groups cooperate at certain times. In the old Avestan texts, the Devas are to be rejected for being misguided by the lie, but they are still gods, and not demons. However, in the 19th century this distinction between the older and younger texts had not yet been made, and in 1884 Martin Hoare postulated his thesis that the transition of both the words Asuras and Devas into the designations of the demons is based on a prehistoric schism in religion. The observation was reiterated by Jacob Grimm, who, like Hoare, considered it to be the theological basis of Zoroastrianism's dualism. Before this, Westergaard had attributed the younger Avestar's demonization of the Devas to a moral reaction against Vedic polytheism, but that was very quickly rejected, and by 1895 James Zarmesterter noted that it has no longer had any supporter. Nonetheless, some modern authors like Mallory and Adams still refer to Zoroastrianism as a religious reformation of Vedic religion. Most scholars, however, stress that there were two independent developments in ancient Iran and post-Rigvedic India, but nonetheless to be considered against the common background of prehistoric Indo-Iranian religion where both groups coexisted with the Asuras, perhaps even as a subset of the Devas, the national gods.